Darwin took a great leap forward in understanding. I mean, pre-Darwin, our level of understanding was virtually nothing.
Yeah.
And then after Darwin, we're most of the way there. I mean, the details need to be filled in, but the great riddle of life was solved by Darwin, and people have been adding to it since. But I think partial understanding is understating it.
Yes. But I just mean the fact that we can notice is itself kind of a marvelous, fascinating thing. The kangaroo isn't thinking about what an absurd creature it is.
No, right. Yes, exactly. We're the only species that can do that. And even we have only been able to do it for a rather short time.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's endlessly fascinating to me. Yeah. To go back to the idea of sort of our ability to transcend some of the Darwinism. I was writing about this in my last book. I wrote quite a bit on Gandhi, and it was just fascinating to me to think, the idea of nonviolence, that you could solve problems without violence.
Yes.
That there was, von Clausewitz said, that war is the extension of politics by other means. War being the sort of one of our first inventions, and then politics being another invention. And then the idea of, hey, you can resolve political disagreements or injustices without necessarily killing people. Just our ability to invent some of these things and to see them as inventions is an interesting way to sort of understand human development.
Yes, I quite agree. And it's one of the things that, as you look at history, we've progressed mightily over. We are getting nicer.
Hopefully. Are we getting smarter or nicer, or some combination of the two? I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure about smarter. I mean, but I think I like Steven Pinker's books on the subject. We're looking at the broad sweep of history. We do appear to be getting nicer.
Yeah, and that these were breakthroughs. That it wasn't, there's that idea. Was Martin Luther King? He was quoting someone else about how the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. Like, unlike evolution, which doesn't have anyone directing it, it's fascinating to think, as you said, Darwin, one singular individual, fundamentally changes our understanding of who we are and why we're here and where we're going, and that the development of human society has been so impacted by just a collection of individuals is kind of a mind-blowing thing.
Yes, Darwin wasn't the only one, of course. I mean, there was Wallace as well, and possibly one or two others. But it was Darwin who wrote the book,
yes,
which really converted people, really made the impact. So I think it is right to revere Darwin for that reason. And as I said, it was a major leap forward. The great philosophers of the past, great as they were fumbling in the dark when it came to the reason for existence, the reason for our existence.
Well, yeah, and as a writer and as a lover of books, there's something wonderful about how everything was in the dark, and then a book can flip on a light, so to speak, and change how we see things or how we understand things, and then the way that book spreads through culture. It's a magical thing.
And that's scarcely an exaggeration. I think that puts it well.
Yeah. How do you think about your own role in that? You must think about it sometimes. Like you have articulated concepts and explained things, as well as popularized them in books to a degree to which you can't really go back. Like we can't go back. You have helped us understand and explain things that we now understand.
I suppose others should be the judge of that. I like to hope that I've contributed something to public and general understanding of what Darwin started.
Yeah, and then and then people write on that, and that's sort of been the process now for 4,000 or 5,000 years.
Yes.